Hello everyone, Silent here, and welcome back to another episode of Truly Bedrock Season 3. Let's go for a little walk, shall we? There we go, all the way down to here. This is what we built up in the last episode. We now have an expanded 64 villager trading hall, and we need to do a lot more work on this in today's episode. I want to get basically one or more of every single profession, and I want to be able to buy and sell anything to these villagers for basically 1 emerald. So you can kind of treat today's episode like a how-to on how to improve your villager trading hall and get the best villager trading hall that you really can. I'm going to be showing a bunch of different techniques and tips and tricks and little loopholes in the trading system that are kind of ripe for being taken advantage of, so pay attention if you feel like upgrading your villager trading hall. Also, if you're not messing with villagers in Minecraft, you need to start messing with villagers. Villagers are literally the best thing in the game. You need to be using them. So in the previous episode, I asked you guys what kind of villagers we should go for, because as you can tell, right now, a lot of these guys are just the fishermen. They're not actually fishermen. They're just like, you know, kind of having the fishing barrel as a placeholder. So a lot of you guys recommended masons. Masons will buy stone, and you can basically sell 1 stone or 1 andesite or granite or diorite for 1 emerald. And then you can also buy quartz and terracotta and glazed terracotta from them as well. And I think that's a pretty good idea. So I would like to get like a whole array and a whole row of the masons. And then of course we're gonna get like 2 of every other villager type as well. One of the most useful things you can do when it comes to villagers is re-rolling them, basically changing their trades just by breaking their workstation and placing it back down. And there is a texture pack that you can use to actually show you what they have. So normally we would only be able to see these first couple of trades, but with this texture pack we can see absolutely everything that this villager will ever trade to us, which is going to save us absolutely hours when it comes to getting the perfect villager. I really wish I would have been using this the entire time I've built this trading hall, because I've spent a very long time re-rolling these librarians. So link to this texture pack is down in the description. You can save yourself absolutely tons of hours. When re-rolling, there is a very simple thing that you can do to get better trades faster. So if you actually move the workstation itself, it will unlink from the villager and then relink, and that is a super easy way of re-rolling these trades. So as you can see, all these guys are now the stone masons, and all I gotta do is power these pistons, and all of them will disconnect and become stone masons once again, refreshing their trades, getting brand new trades. And I can essentially keep on doing this until I get the best villager that I want to, and that is pretty solid. So I'm gonna go ahead and get an entire array of these lovely stone masons, figure out why this dude is a fisherman. Oh, there we go. He's not a fisherman. Ah, he's a fisherman again. So after a few minutes of re-rolling and trading, we have an entire array of really good masons. Masons are home to one of the easiest sources of emeralds in Minecraft. So their first 4 trades are basically always the same. It's always going to be clay balls, bricks, stone, and chiseled stone. And what that means is that you can basically sell 1 stone for 1 emerald if you do enough of villager curing. Right now it's 20 stone per emerald, but we can get that down to just 1. And then we can also sell them diorite for stone, or andesite, or the granite for stone as well. Now, I've gotten 2 villagers that will sell me polished granite because there is a shop on the server that actually accepts granite as a currency, so we're going to be using that to our advantage, of course. And of course, we can also buy the glazed terracottas or the regular terracottas, pillar or regular quartz from these guys as well. So I got 2 of them that sell the polished granite, 2 that sell polished andesite because of course, and then I got 2 of them that sell the dripstone blocks too, because it's basically the best and fastest way of getting dripstone. I didn't find any that had undyed terracotta, but I did try and get like the gray, the cyan, and the light gray, because those are kind of like the nicest colors. So it's come to my attention that there's basically no reason to re-roll clerics. They basically always have the same set of trades, and there's there's not really any variation in prices. Even if there were, we have the villager curing thingy, so we don't need to worry about prices anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and get 3 of these guys. I'll upgrade them over time. Eventually we'll be able to sell 1 rotten flesh for an emerald. We can buy a ton of redstone, we can buy lapis, we can buy the glowstone, and we can buy the bottles of enchanting too. So the clerics are actually gonna be pretty nice in the long run. Sometime later, using the methods I have showed you, we have this entire layer of villagers completely assigned to one job or another. So you've already seen the masons. I decided to get a the loom guy, the loom dude, the shepherd, yeah. So we can sell 1 wool for 1 emerald, and we can also sell 1 lime dye or 1 red dye for an emerald. And of course we have dye farms, so that's not gonna be an issue. I also decided to get a leather worker as well, just because, like, I feel bad not having one. I'm sorry that I made you a leather worker. I will probably never trade with you. You have just basically the worst trades in the world. Maybe I'll buy a saddle in 5 years, but otherwise, you're just, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. So clerics are obviously the good thing. Cartographers are actually really good as well, but I'll come back to that in a moment. And then I also got a couple of butchers. We can buy a ton of chicken or beef or the mutton from these guys as well, and that's gonna be one of our best food supplies on the server, really. So 1 emerald gets you like a bunch of chicken. So much better than having a chicken cooker, because there's so much less lag and entities and no redstone or anything. So these guys are actually a really good source of food. Would highly recommend. Of course, the Fletchers are good for the tipped arrows of fire resistance and weakness, and of course also the tipped arrows of Turtle Master and the illegal tipped arrows of decay too. I've decided to keep 4 of the fishermen at this lair. I need to move them all around to 1 zone, but of course you can sell any type of fish to them for 1 emerald as well. So we can sell the cod, the salmon, the tropical fish, and the pufferfish, and it's just an absolutely great way of getting vast amounts of emeralds, especially if you have an AFK fish farm. Of course, I've also got myself the armor as well. This guy sells diamond boots, and it also has a diamond helmet with aqua affinity, so that saves us 1 enchant. And then this guy over here has the diamond pants and the diamond chestplate. So that is our full set of diamond armor that we can buy, disenchant, re-enchant, sell, and or turn into netherite. This guy right here also has a very good trade. He's selling us a diamond shovel of silk touch and unbreaking 3. Absolute score on that one. Of course, we can buy a diamond pickaxe as well, and diamond axes. And this dude over here sells axes and swords. So that is like all of the diamond things that we could ever possibly need. Do we have the diamond hoe trade? We do! We got the diamond hoe trade. We can buy that for 1 emerald. Thank you. Nice. So yeah, literally anything out of diamond that we need, we can buy, we can disenchant it, fully enchant it using the librarians, and then sell it or put netherite on it. Honestly, quite good. And farmers are also really good for food as well. You can buy and sell a bunch of good things from them. You can buy the glistening melon for potions. More importantly, you can also buy pumpkin pie and golden carrots from them as well. So pretty good stuff. I got another extra farmer, and that is really it for the upper level of the trading hall. As you can tell, it doesn't take too long to get an absolutely stacked trading hall. We have a bit of an issue right now, and that issue is we are severely lacking on the bling bling front. I only have about half a stack of emeralds to my name, so we need a pyramid scheme, a get quick rich scheme. And that is where these cartographers come into play. So unfortunately, I don't have enough bling bling to make the cartographer loop work well. I need to level them up to level 2, and that is just gonna cost way more emeralds than I have to my name. So we're gonna do a little bit more of the villager curing real quick. Let's just flick that lever, and we'll feed each of these guys a healthy dose of golden apple real quick. Bloop, and bloop, there you go. Happy, hungry boys. Anyway, as we're waiting for those guys to cure up, there is another loop having to do with the librarian villagers. So we can buy a bookshelf, ideally for 1 emerald, and then if we break this bookshelf down into 3 books, we can sell each one of these books for 1 emerald back to the same villagers. So ideally, you would make a 60% profit every single time you do this, because you're spending 1 emerald to get 3 books, and then you're making 3 emeralds from those 3 3 books. So I don't have very many villagers that actually sell the bookshelves, but all of these guys do buy the books. So let me wait for these guys to cure. I need to get some better bookshelf prices, and then we'll see how many emeralds we can get out of these guys. There we go. Mr. Namey Name has cured, and now this guy will sell a bunch of bookshelves to us for 1 emerald each. I actually have an axe specifically meant for breaking these things down. My main axe is Silk Touch, so I made another silly one over here. Get to the chopper! So now we have a pretty simple source of emeralds from these guys, and that's really all there is to it. We can sell books to just about anyone, and we'll be helping to level them up in the process as well. I've gotten mending twice in a row, and all I want is a villager of a bookshelf trade. Hey, what are you doing outside the iron farm? You're supposed to be over there in that orange. I have a portable orange here for you. Here, come back here, Mr. Sir. Come back here. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Sir. You're just gonna have to enjoy the portable orange. Oh, it's ruining my lake. Oh, hey, we have another book over here. Also, look how many golems this thing is making. That's like 4 in like 10 seconds. Jeez. Dear Miss Mistress, to date, no payment has been received by our client for your use of orange. Oh, right. Yeah, we got fined for orange. That's ridiculous. I forgot about that entirely. We're now required to send you a reminder letter and let you know that you due the non-payment for fee has increased due to part to further use of paper and ink, not to mention the current inflation situation with dumb inflating the markets. The fee currently stands at 30 diamonds, and payment is now due. Payment can be given at Groover's base. Regards, Goats Collection Service. Well, sir, I have some mobile orange for you. Thanks for the item frame. I'm not paying no fee for using orange. Also, I don't think they noticed that we're using orange in the base. It's only fairly noticeable. Over the last couple of episodes, I've asked you guys for some armor set names for the Nitwit Schmacker set of armor and the Executioner set, and you guys did not let me down. We have some lovely suggestions from Babu Plays for the Nitwit Schmacker set. We got the Small Brain Container, which is very accurate. Green Shirt of Disappointment, also very accurate. Not a Trader Trousers, and Zombie Outrunners. Now, for the Executioner set, we have several good names from Tytronic. So for this set, we have the Silence Breaker, Crimson Stained Pantaloons, Armor of the Fallen, and the Plague Mask. Very nice. So thank you so much, everyone, for the armor name suggestions. We now have a full 3 sets of backup armor in case we ever die in the void and lose our main armor. I need to get a ton of netherite to turn all of this stuff into netherite armor. So maybe we'll go ahead and upgrade our TNT tunnel bore and do that in a future episode. Let me know if you want to see that. Okay, so I've done quite a bit of re-rolling and expanded the villager trading hall like +7 librarians. Every single one of these guys has a bookshelf trade, and thanks to the texture pack, it all becomes very, very easy to get great enchantment books. So now I can just buy out like utter stacks of these bookshelves. We can break them down, and then that is really all there is to it. These guys don't have bookshelves trades. This guy does. Bam. So 63 more bookshelves, and I will just break these down into a bunch of books, and then that'll be like 3 stacks of emeralds. That is gonna last us a pretty long time. And there we go. That is several stacks of emeralds, and now we can take advantage of a separate loop using the Cartographers. So we're gonna level these guys up to level 2, which is going to require quite a few emeralds. Oh wow, that's very... Well, actually no, these guys only sell the maps for 1 emeralds now. Okay, great. Previously it was 7 emeralds per map. So basically, buy these guys out until they get to level 2, and that is a pretty easy thing to do. Boop, that guy's level 2, and this guy's level 2 as well. So as you can see, it only costs 3 glass panes per emerald right now. It can be even cheaper than that, and we're gonna buy all of our glass from our lovely librarians. Now, they don't always sell it. Actually, they gotta be kind of a high level. Who have I actually traded with in this trading hall? Have you been traded with? Yes, but you don't sell glass. Come on, somebody sell me glass. There you go. So I can buy 48 glass, and then I can turn all of this into glass panes. And I think you see where we're going with this. It's a very, very good loop. So I was able to buy about 4.5 stacks of glass from the librarians, which isn't too bad. I spent like 2 stacks of emeralds on that, but this is going to give us a lot of glass panes. I don't want to make every single one of these into glass panes. That seems like it's going to be a lot of glass panes. So let's make that many, 3 stacks. Let's see what we can do with that. How many times can we actually trade this before they run out of emeralds? Can we find that out? That's a lot of emeralds. That's actually a whole lot of emeralds. So we go from a stack in 11 to a stack in 27. I'm feeling like we need a lot more cartographers up in here to make this worthwhile. But yeah, as you can see, it is indeed a trade loop. And now we got a bunch of leftover glass that we can trade to them as well. Pretty solid stuff. So taking advantage of cartographers and taking advantage of the librarians is a great way of getting yourself some pretty free emeralds with very, very little effort. Now, because the iron farm is working just so extremely well, I can actually afford to trade quite a bit of the iron to the different armorers, weaponsmiths, and toolsmiths as well. And guess what? It's 1 iron per emerald too. So emeralds really is not that big of a deal once you start getting into the, you know, trading mechanics. So this guy is going to buy iron from us as well. We just kind of need to level him up a little bit. So I've done a bunch of villager curing, and I'm kind of curious how low these guys' trades have gotten. Ooh, 9 diorite for an emerald. That's actually pretty solid. And 3 clay balls for an emerald too. That is very, very good. This world has some really, really weird wonky generation, and there's actually like an entire clay biome. Like, just thousands and thousands of clay blocks. So that's actually not a bad trade at all. But for the time being, I'll sell some of my diorite, because, ooh, gross. Nobody likes diorite. So while I was casually re-rolling these guys to get some book trades, they actually ended up with some pretty decent stuff. Like, this guy's got Aqua Affinity, which I almost certainly spelled wrong. Channeling, Sharpness 5, Fire Aspect 2. This guy's got Silk Touch, which is good. And this is our Mending Villager. This guy's got Projectile Protection and Punch. So cat suffocated in a wall. Open mouth. Anyway, so that actually replaced 2 of our main villagers. So like this guy over here's got projectile protection for twice, and we simply don't need him anymore. So goodbye, Mr. Villager. You are no longer necessary. And this guy over here has Aqua Affinity. That's spelled correctly. But of course, he doesn't have anything else good of trading. So I'm sorry, sir. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. So you might be wondering about the progress on the castle, and honestly, the progress is pretty decent. Where did that come from? That literally just popped up out of nowhere. Anyway, castle progress is pretty solid. However, the final thing that I really need to do for this build is actually figure out the detailing and design the towers that we have here. I already know how to build the bridges going between them. I just need to actually figure out the detailing of the towers themselves, and hopefully I'll have that figured out today. But once we have that done, then we can actually go ahead and fill in all of the walls of this entire build, and that'll be this castle done. So I've kind of gotten into like a little bit of a rut creatively on just like what to do for those towers, but I'm just gonna get it done. Having anything done is better than having nothing done, so just make some form of progress rather than no progress, right? So I'm just gonna get it done, and then we can fill in all of the walls of the entire build, and hopefully in the next episode we'll have some of that done, or maybe the episode after that we will have the entire tower done. I'm actually looking forward to a lot, and then we'll have a lot of room to do a lot more farms, and we won't have to mess with villagers as much. But the villagers has successfully laid the groundwork for basically the entirety of the base going forwards, and I'm really happy with the progress that we have here. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode of Truly Bedrock Season 3. I hope that you've learned a thing and had a good time along the way. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support on the channel. I'll see you guys down in the comment section, and in the next one, make sure to leave the likes and feed the YouTube algorithm gods. And then there was silence.